Hey everyone!
Hey.
How you guys doing? My name is Gideon Rauchi.
And I'm Misha Panzer.
And welcome to TSP Productions. And this is our introduction video, Why We Care. And what we're talking about here is, why do we care about specifically the division that's happened in our church, within our movement? So, originally, right, we have Family Federation. Sure, move the camera.
Sorry.
And later on, around, I would say, I think it was 2014, Hyungshinam, he made that clear distinction with his sermon called Breaking Silence. Now,
that was 2015.
I'm sorry, 15. Okay. So I've learned a lot of what's been happening, and I gotta say, I myself have been through a whole roller coaster. I've noticed I had some cognitive dissonance within myself. I had to break through some walls of understanding things, and I've been through some phases. That's so funny now that when I talk to some brothers and sisters, I see the phase where they're out of understanding of life, and I just reflect on looking, wow, that's where I was in life with thinking. So if I could just explain a little bit of the history of my journey in this. Now, originally, for me, the reason why I really care about this is because I'm thinking about my brothers and sisters, and I'm thinking about the world that we're in. Now, back in 2013, I was starting to understand about the economy, about the politics of the world, and I noticed that in our church, under Family Federation, under True Mother at the time, we really weren't honed in or so focused on the politics of the world and the economy, and also like social issues. So for me, I studied so much where I got to understand, wow, you know what, we're going to be at a economic turmoil at some point, at an economic crash. At the time, America was at a $17 trillion debt, and right now I think it's like either 19 or 20 trillion dollars right now. As it keeps on going, the dollar's going to collapse, and the whole country is going to go under chaos. You know, we're now looking at it right now because most of us live very comfortably in our lives, but because we have our heads under the mud, you know, and we live so comfortably, we don't really understand what's actually going to happen. So I see what's going to happen. So again, when I was back in 2013, when I learned that the Family Federation has created this constitution, I thought, wow, this is great. You know, we're going to be safe. We're going to have our own sovereign nation in 2020, hopefully. You know, at least the idea is there. Not only that, I learned about free market capitalism, how that actually makes a society really prosperous, and not only that, even more moral than a social society. So, when I learned about this, I was really excited because, you know, while the whole world could be burning, we could live in a safe haven in some land where other people from other nations could come and join, and hopefully a capitalist system where people could prosper. You know, so in a way, it could be like the light and savior of the world. So once I received the Constitution, I read it. You know, long story short, it's a complete slave document. I'm sorry to say, but when you read it, it's so clear. It's a theocratic, fascist, communist document. So when I saw that, I totally got turned off. And I saw, wow, this is the state of how our church sees us. They just see us as slaves. And I'm really sad saying this, but it's the truth. So what happened was that was the time where I lost my faith in Family Federation. I already understood that there was some corruption in the church, but at least the principle was there. But now that there was this constitution that was made that even excluded the divine principle at the time, it was like, wow, this is how they see us. And even if they believe that even if it was just an imaginary thing, they didn't really have faith that a country was going to be established. Still, they created that document that is very poorly made, and it's like, okay, well, this is how they see us really overall, as people who are not smart and just our value is just blind obedience to leaders. So part of the big reason why I care is because I care about my brothers and sisters to be safe and to not essentially be ruled over by other people, and I want my brothers and sisters to be free. So, and I think that's fair, and I think that's even what God wants, and that's what True Father wants, of how he described about Chanalguk, to be a land of freedom and autonomy. So, Misha, you could share on your side.
I guess for a more personal, anecdotal side, my parents went to sanctuary, they attended sanctuary church, and I was often, like, you know, dragged along, like, yeah, you have to go to church every Sunday, so might as well go with my parents, and I didn't really have my own car, so I really didn't have a choice. But just because I was there doesn't mean I was all gung-ho for it. I was really processing, and it took me several months to get to this point where I felt like I owned my faith, and I think that's important for people to really own their faith, and it's not just a blind faith. I feel a peace because I feel that my intellect, my emotion is aligning with my will, with what I'm doing. Yeah, throwing that DP. DP
Please
right
go
there.
on, yeah.
Yeah, like I think a lot of what our church is missing is they're just telling you have absolute faith in True Mother. But you're hearing all these, you know, pretty scandalous things, and you know, like, rumors aside, like, just listen to a few speeches and, like, discern for yourself, like, do I actually agree with this? And we're not telling you have to agree with us. We're telling you to think for yourself, and I think that's healthy in a life of faith.
I think it's important to have leaders, but still that you have a mind of your own to make that clear judgment. Now, sure, Family Fed for now is not forcing people, or especially in America, that you have to obey Mother, otherwise you're going to get reprimanded for something like that. At least in America. In Japan and Korea, it's a little bit more chaotic. But anyway, the thing is, it's we're not saying that there shouldn't be leaders and you should just do your own thing. There needs to be a balance.
There needs to be organization and
there
a
does
structure.
need to be organization. There does need to be, I mean, naturally that's going to happen. You're always going to have a church. You're always going to have structure. You're always going to have leaders. The difference is to not completely submit yourself to their direction. To still, you have the freedom to evaluate what is happening. You know, rather than just blindly following, you know, that you're a free human being, that you could think for yourself, and you could see if these leaders are being aligned with God. If these leaders are being aligned with God, how you sincerely see it, then fine, so be it. Then that it's okay to be the object, you could say, to these leaders. But if these leaders are clearly not being objective to God, then you have to be honest with yourself and to cut yourself from that. Unless if you want to improve leadership, okay, fine, or some way, but don't be subjugated by leaders who are not being clearly obedient to God. I think that's the direction that you wanted to go to, Nish.
Yeah, if you end up believing that True Mother is united with True Father and is doing the right thing, then
after you studied about everything,
then fine. Like,
I would have a lot more respect for you if you know everything what's going on, and then, I mean, I'd be kind of surprised, but I would have a lot more respect for you. Yeah. From my experience of this, it's funny when I talk to people about this situation, and I actually see that a lot of people, again, like how there's second gen who are feminists, but they're feminists for the right reasons of equal rights, but they don't actually know what the movement is really for, ultimately. I feel like that, right? It's like that with Family Federation, where there's people who have very good thoughts, who have a very good heart.
Intentions.
They have very good intentions. They have very good understanding of DP, of what Father said, all that stuff, But the thing is, they have no idea that the main church is actually going in a different direction. It is not aligned with what they're thinking. The conversations I had with brothers and sisters about this stuff, and the things they say, it's like, Hyunjin's the one that would agree with you on that. Not True Mother. True Mother's in a very different direction. So, anyways, so yeah, we do encourage you to study this really on your own. But here's the thing too: if you study this, if you are very studious about this and understanding what's really happening, what's really the truth. Now, I mean, it's gonna sound scary, but I'll make it a little light in the end. You bear that responsibility now of understanding the truth. And if you are in fear of thinking, okay, well, I understand what's going on in the direction, but you know what? I feel comfortable where I am. My family's comfortable. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to shake it. And I don't see. Plus, I don't even see the comfortability of the happiness of where Sanctuary is going. Number one, I'm sorry to say, that's not a good level of thinking. Sure, we all want to be happy. Sure, we want to live comfortably. Of course, who doesn't? But this is not what, if anything, this is not what we're taught by True Father. We have to, we're living in the individual level, the family level, and then what's that beyond that? Local level, societal level, all that stuff. Sure, maybe we're not going to be all presidents. We're not going to be all world leaders. We might not even be a mayor or some type of local level at that state. It's fine if people are just going to stick with the family level, but if you're going to think in a very primitive state of I just want to take care of my own, take care of my family in a very primitive style, or this is where everyone else is thinking, and if we just live this way, everyone's going to be very comfortable. If that's your level of thinking, well, now you're just doing yourself a huge disservice, not only to yourself, not only to your family, but I'm sorry to say, even to your own sincere relationship with God. If you really understand where this is going, and you start to understand the truth, but now you're going against your conscience, that's where you're becoming insincere now. Again, you're doing yourself a disservice. Now, here's the thing. So we don't want to end this on a bad note, because when people start to understand truth, it's like, oh, well, I feel really comfortable where I am. But here's the thing. If you're just going to hide the elephant under the rug and pretend that none of this is real, or pretend that nothing bad's going to happen, we're going to be real with you, brothers and sisters. There's going to be problems later on that's going to happen in the church. Already there's a bunch of problems that's happening now and in the future. And I'm going to be honest with you, for as far as I know, the information that's out there, okay? UTS is on the market, okay? I know that there was a big argument about, what it's on the moon, and someone made some claim. I have no idea about that part, but I know from personal experience, UTS is on the market, okay? Apparently New York Hotel is on the market, okay? Boston Church is on the market. And a personal friend of mine told me that they're not even going to get the money back once they sell it. When they sell it, they're not even going to give some of the money back to the community, okay? Boston Church is in the market. I was just told today a Minnesota church is on the market. Washington, D.C. church is on the market. Okay? Already there was some place in Korea that was on the market that a bunch of Koreans were protesting. What was the place called? It starts with a G.
I forget.
Okay. Well, anyway, so the thing is, if you pretend, that this elephant in the room does not exist, I mean, things are decaying, and where are you going to be left if your place is going to get sold? Where your community is. What are you guys going to do? I mean, sure, maybe you guys could pull in together and be strong about it, but it's just, the thing is, Father never wanted these places to get sold. Okay? There's a reason. There's a sacredness to it. Okay? So, not only that, again, think about the future. If you so much believe that I can't even call her true mother anymore. I'm sorry. We're going to explain this more, why we can't even call true mother anymore. That she's really the Han mother. If you really believe that she's a Messiah, that she's a perfected human being, or whatever, okay? Well, what's going to happen when she passes away? What's the leadership going to look from then on? I mean, imagine if she passes away, and then there's more factions, more division. You yourself might not be in a comfortable place anymore. There might even be divided factions where people start to unite with other people, or there becomes like splinter cults or splinter movements. Okay. Now the whole unification movement is going to be really divided, and you and your family might really be stranded. And so here's the thing: we're letting you know now that, hey, Sanctuary is actually having a really good direction, a really good understanding, and as a matter of fact, is actually not progressive in a way of having new teachings or being part of the world instead of actually trying to uplift the world. Okay? Sanctuary is in a really good road. If we really think about it, and if you actually look at the Sanctuary document, the Sanctuary Church, the Sanctuary Chalguk
Constitution?
Yeah, this fly's like going all around me. Constitution, it gives you freedom to relate with God, how you relate with God, and to freely associate with people. Again, it gives you a mindset to not be a slave and to take real ownership of yourself. And then from there, you could have a beautiful relationship with other people. So I know that I shared a lot with you. Misha, is there anything else that you want to share?
Yes, I would like to share.
Sure.
I'd like to talk a little bit about what's happening to our younger brothers and sisters, both in Sanctuary and in Family Fed, and what this division has caused. I mean, it's painful for everyone, and as an older second gen, I could no longer just stand aside and watch this happen. I felt like I had to take some responsibility. Like, I have to try to fix this, try to do as much as I could so that my younger brothers and sisters don't have to shoulder this burden. I guess this is why we're bringing this up. We want to confront this.
Because there's a big fat elephant in the room.
Yeah,
and barely anyone's talking about it. I mean, there are some people who are talking about it, but there needs to be more people talking about it. I guess in certain perspectives and angles.
Yeah. I think maybe Gideon and we share a slightly different angle from maybe what you've heard. If anything, we want to see true unity happen, and I don't think what the main church is doing, I don't think it's really promoting that. They're really, like Gideon is saying, brushing things under the rug and, kind of belittling what is actually happening.
I mean, I don't enjoy this battle, but you know what? It's the reason why it's a battle is because there are people who really understand what's going on, and they're taking advantage of oppressing the people. So it doesn't have to be a battle, but because there are people who understand what's going on and they're oppressing the people, then naturally it becomes a battle. We don't want it to be a battle, but if people are going to want to keep their positions, then, I mean, what else can you do, you know? We can't just be, like, we can't just be a bunch of lambs about this. Like, we gotta defend people, whether they know they're being oppressed or not. If you know what's happening, you can't just lay back, because your brothers and sisters are being oppressed. So anyway, go on, Mish.
Yeah, I guess going back to thinking for yourself, you know, I think each person has to, each second gen who's born into this church has to decide for themselves, do I really believe in this? You know, that's something each person eventually has to decide. And I want to challenge those people who have decided to stay in this church. If you believe and want to see this movement grow, then I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you. Alright. I want to challenge you to take ownership of the future of this movement and not let these leaders
run amok.
I think both Gideon and I are trying to do that. We want to do as much as we can, which is why we're out here in the woods getting eaten by mosquitoes and talking to you guys, talking to a camera off the side of the road.
Me and Mish we're not expecting you to have like a blowhorn. If you understand what's happening, we're not expecting you to have a blowhorn and join us in our activism, you could say. It's just aligning yourself with the truth of what's happening, you know. And we're not asking you to break ties with your friends and family. If anything, just for you to understand, to eventually break ties with what the main direction of the church is wanting you to go. But to still have the heart to embrace all brothers and sisters. Later on in our videos, we are going to talk about truth. We have to make clear distinctions of what's happening. We can't just cower away. But at the same time, we're not disregarding the heart, because with God, there's truth, but there's also love. You know, people could use truth and use that to their advantage to do evil things. You know, here at TSP, we're not doing that. We really care about our brothers and sisters. We really care about the principles and traditions, and we really care about True Father. So that's something that we don't want to disregard. Again, when we talk about these things that's happening, we're not doing it with hate. We're doing it with really pure love, and as maybe not as pure as God, but like, I don't want to put myself in that high of a standard, but with extremely good intentions, that we really love our brothers and sisters. That also we really love True Mother and appreciate what she's been through in life. You know, of her service and her sacrifice. So again, I think this should be our conclusion. We talked for a really long time. Oh my God. But anyways, so we're gonna talk more about this, and things are gonna be very evident, and we will always welcome people on the comment sections. We're not gonna close comments. As a matter of fact, we welcome it. And if any of you have something that you want to share, or even if you want to, you know, be interviewed about what you think about things, or if there's some type of misguided, maybe there's something we said that was wrong and that we need to clarify. All right, fine. You know, here's the thing. It's high noon. It's open. we'll allow different opinions to come by and facts to come by and prove us wrong. We gladly accept that. This is because we're trying to set up a different culture that's different from Family Federation. Instead of just hiding things and putting things under the rug, we want to be open, we want to be honest, and we want to have a healthy debate as well to improve our understanding of spiritual life and so on. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching this. It's been such a long time we've been talking. Oh my god,
we could talk for hours
about
this.
God. Oh geez, classic Mooney talks.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
me too. I could keep going about
you can. So we love you all, and please watch our next video for next time. Please leave any comments below, and we'll see you soon. Spiritual high five. Bam. All right, cool. My butt is hurting.
Oof.
Oh, my head.